Guidance was just not there. So I'm out here just figuring out on my own since 15, figuring it out as life goes. As my life went, I was figuring it out.
So while you was figuring it out, what you mean by that?
Why I was figuring it out? Because
at 15?
I don't know. My mom was, well, I do know. Her ass left and went back to Georgia. Her ass left and went back to Georgia and left me and my brother down here with my other sister. And she got 2 kids of her own. My girl is living life. I can't with these 2 motherfuckers. So that led him to figure it out on his own. And that led me to figure it out on my own. We both went down some dark paths, but his path was way darker than mine, friend. I ain't gonna speak on that because it ain't my business. But his just went, thank God. Ooh. Anyways, but yeah, 15, sister got 2 kids. She can't really do too much because she got to take care of her household and her kids. So now what? I'm figuring it out. Now what? Oh, got more than the little my age, which I'm 15. What the f is 15, 16-year-old boy do for me? Nothing. I need school clothes, I need money, I need my hair done, I need this, I need that. So what you gonna resort to? What you know? And they was doing for me, and yeah.
And doing
and they weren't just giving me the money just because I want to give it to you, but I was giving it up willingly, but since I was underage, so that's molestation. I'm not gonna say it because I wanted to do it, but I knew
you did it out of necessity.
Yeah, I did it because that's what I felt like I needed to do to get to get to what I needed. Because who the
and then they grow up and they have so much trauma within them that is unresolved that no man can come along and fix. At any point in their life, they seen too much. They did too much. I remember growing up, and when I was in high school, we used to be looking at dudes funny. And I still look at that as funny when I think about it back in the day. We used to look at dudes as funny that used to come back up to the high school, right? I'm in high school. My homie's in high school. And so, you know, we just regular. We catching the bus to school. We normal kids, you know what I'm saying? And I remember we used to see girls that was in our class and stuff, and they would be acting like they too good, like they better than everybody else. And it was because they had boyfriends and older boyfriends that had cars, that had jobs, that would come back up to the high school and try to pull on these chicks. And they would be shooting way down because they knew that it was going to impress a lot of these young girls. And I think that, you know, as I talked about this on several different panels, this was our norm. This was normal where I was from. At all high schools, even dudes that had graduated and then they would go back up to the school once they got their job. That was weird to me. It was absolutely weird. But another takeaway from this, which is absolutely tragic, and it wasn't even her fault, right? So I can't hold her accountable for the circumstance that her mother put her in. But her mother is responsible for having children out of wedlock, tying herself to a man who knows who God can only say who her father is. But why are we not holding people accountable, women accountable, for the environment that they subject their children to, which they should not be having children in the first place? Her sister, whoever, brothers, all of them, they all going through this trauma. And then guess what? They have kids, they multiply, and then they continue to perpetuate this bad behavior onto other people also. It's tragic. It's absolutely, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And then they wind up being the ones with the loudest voices, and they determine what happened in the culture, and then they got to get by, and you know, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, bro.
else was doing it?
Right.
And mama, out of sight, out of mind. Daddy, out of sight, out of mind. Sister, here, but she got her own going on, so therefore I'm finna figure it out, and this is the way that I figure it out.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Look at the way that she talked. Everything is B, S, F. Every other word. Cannot even control how she communicates.
So being that was where you came from, and that's what you went through, what you felt like you had to go through. Would you say that any of those things that happened to you haunts you, or you feel guilty about it, or you feel any kind of way?
Guilty? Guilty, no. I don't feel guilty about it. I don't ever did, and it don't haunt me to this day, because it's like, it is what it is. But I do think about it, and I be like, damn, I really was talking to this man that's like such and such, all these 20 plus years older than me. Like, what the? Like, it made me feel
or dirty
back then.
or slutty.
I didn't give a. It didn't make me feel nasty. It didn't make me feel slutty. It didn't make me feel like, cause I was about my then. But years done passed and I got older. I sit back and I done looked on them like, damn, like, it made me feel less of a woman. It made me feel disgusting. I felt like, well, I didn't feel like, I was degrading myself. But yeah, I just felt like, you did that.
Don't look at me. I didn't do it.
Yeah, that's how I felt. So yeah, it did make me feel that way. But back then, I didn't give a about it. I didn't hear.
Would you say, not to cut you out, but what would you say helped you through getting past those feelings that you had once you did sit and you reflected on the things that you did in the past? What helped you through that?
Life, and also having somebody in my corner that did not judge me for that I have done over time, and talking to me and really breaking down to me like, I got a thick skull. Thick skull. So by that person just sitting down and breaking down to me over time, not just all at one time, but over time, over months, over years, you done been talking to me, telling me something gonna click. Yeah.
Fathers, stay in your daughters' lives. Stay heavy in your daughters' lives. Protect your seed. Protect what comes up out of you. Don't just let it go into anybody and anything. It's people that's waiting to do, and you know, I think the worst part about this is that I've talked to guys and we've had some heavy debates on the internet about what is consenting, what is legal, and I always divert back to my child. I always divert back to my child because I would never, ever, ever want anything and anybody to ever touch my child prior to her getting married, let alone her, brain developing at an age to where she can actually, make real decisions for herself without having regret and looking back on it. And so stay heavy in your people's lives, stay heavy in your daughter's lives. Don't go out there, don't give them too much freedom. I know that's what the world is trying to teach you, but the world is wrong. The world been wrong. And that's why the majority of people are messed up. They toe up, they got trauma, they can't unsee what they saw. They've been subjected to stuff, some self-inflicted wounds, others not so much. And all they're doing is continuing to give this same bad behavior out to other people by having more children, by justifying the behavior. And it's sad. It's sad. Just protect your daughters, protect the people that's in your life. You can't fix the world. One conversation at a time, situational awareness, and be very, very, very vigilant and careful who you let into your ear and what type of energy that you take in, because that can then translate into one of the most negative experiences for the people that's around you. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm curious as to what you guys are going to say in the comments, because for this woman in particular, I don't even hold her accountable for her bad behavior. At some point with her being an adult, she got to take accountability for the actions that she takes as far as impacting and influencing other people as an adult also, so you don't continue the cycle, right? But at the same time, for this story and what she communicated, it's unfortunate. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm out.